This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Rappaport to the rescue with award-winning animal advocate, best-selling author, journalist, and pet products creator, Jill Rappaport.
Hi, welcome to Rappaport to the Rescue. I'm Jill Rappaport. We've got a great show coming up today with my dear pal Dylan Lauren. After all, Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so she will talk all things sweets, including her big heart for animals in need. But first, I want to reach out to you to ask you to please not only consider adopting an animal now, but even more important, I am begging you to please consider fostering. We need fosters so badly now, and you are the bridge between hell and heaven. And I really mean that. If you open up your heart and home to an animal in need just for a temporary period so they can get used to the kind, gentle touch of a human being, you will make such a huge difference in that animal's lives because you will make them more viable for adoption. So please consider fostering. It is such a rewarding, heartfelt, wonderful thing to do, especially when you see that they go on to find their forever home. Most people like me become foster fails and end up adopting them, but we need you to help now. Thank you so much. All right, when we come back, Dylan Lauren, you know her. She's the daughter of Ralph Lauren. She gives so much of her time and energy to animals in need, especially bunnies. And that goodness and her sweetness explains why she's truly the candy queen. Dylan Lauren when we come back.
You know the expression, cats have 9 lives. Well, what if you can give them one more? The Give Them 10 movement is on a mission to help give cats an extra life. How? With spay and neuter. Spaying or neutering your cat helps them live a longer, healthier life. And it helps control free-roaming cat populations too. Learn more about the benefits of spay and neuter and meet Scooter, the neutered cat, at GiveThem10.org. That's GiveThem10.org.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Rappaport to the Rescue. I'm Jill Rappaport, and if you know anything about me, you know I'm a little obsessed with candy. Chocolate is my life, and my dentist is so appreciative of that. So needless to say, my 2 favorite holidays are Halloween and Valentine's Day, because if people are feeling generous and happy and they're grateful for my friendship, I get a lot of chocolate. So I am so thrilled to have my pal, Dylan Lauren. I refer to her in the open as the Candy Queen. Of course, you know her from Dylan's Candy Bar. She is amazing what she has created in the world of confectionery and chocolates and sweets and jelly beans. Just talking to her gets me high. Dylan, I'm so excited to have you back on Rappaport to the Rescue.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's an honor.
Oh, well, first of all, the last time we chatted was Easter, which I should have mentioned was probably my 3rd favorite holiday, because we always check in with you, not only because you are truly the candy queen, but also your heart is as big as your business for animals in need. You are sweetness extraordinaire. But I want to find out first, with Valentine's Day coming up this Friday, what's going on in your world? You are the queen of it.
Well, it's funny. Valentine's Day, should be every day in terms of gift giving and candy giving. And, but it does always help in the candy business that's a great sort of treat to give anyone any age. So, at Dylan's Candy Bar, we have created things for, grandparents, spouses, kids, partners, whatever it is, and in every kind of candy food group. So we're very excited. And we also have a collaboration with Love Shack Fancy, which is one of several, collaborations we have with lifestyle brands who also focus on fashion, art, or pop culture. So a lot of the fans of Love Shack Fancy and Dylan's Candy Bar have been already buying like those items, which are, sort of floral pattern cakes and, chocolate bars and jam jars with gummies in them. It's really cool. So it's a bunch of stuff that's really yummy and fun.
Well, what always blows me away about you, and for those of you who have seen Dylan over the years, obviously she's the daughter of my favorite designer, Ralph Lauren. And we have to talk about your dad's incredible honor just recently at the White House. We're going to get into that in a moment. But meanwhile, if you see Dylan, she looks like one of Ralph's models. She's absolutely gorgeous, rail thin. Dylan, how do you do it?
Oh, I love candy and a lot of our customers love candy, but it's everything in moderation and also just knowing the workout is important, not just physically, but mentally. I just went snowshoeing because it snows here recently. And just, knowing that, if you do have some overindulgence around Valentine's Day or the Super Bowl, which just hit, the next day have a lot of protein, drink a lot of water, try to balance it out. I mean, if there's no candy in your life, no sweets, then buy a candy robe or a candy blanket or something with the beautiful colors of candy to make you happy if you're trying to not eat it. And we carry all the fun things, but I just think it's okay, everything in moderation.
And you've passed that philosophy on to your own twins. You allow them to indulge.
Yes. And I believe it's important to kind of give a little space, especially, things like trick-or-treating or Halloween. I mean, again, everything in moderation, but I do think when you withhold, it actually makes it more tempting for children especially to want more. And I find sometimes my daughter or my son, they're like, Mom, you're eating too much marshmallow fluff. That's enough hot, where's your vegetables? Because I also talk, that side, which is I like health and nutrition. But again, because I know how to eat healthfully, I also love my candies and my gummies. So I do it both, and they see that.
And how much of an influence did your parents have on you? I mean, considering you grew up in this incredible world of fashion and design, and, it's all about, how you wear the clothes. And let's be honest, thin was in. It was all about staying as fit as possible. So how did your parents navigate you and sweets?
Well, I do know that my mom has a major sweet tooth, and she loves her stashes of chocolate and peanut M&Ms. And my dad as well, he likes his Twizzlers, licorices, and his, he likes the butter crunch. And we all indulge in candy every now and then, and they love, the products I sell for, Valentine's Day. They'll be getting some stuff. But it's also just watching. They worked out. They still work out. They're lifting weight training and running. Well, now they're not running, but they try to keep fit so that they can enjoy their treats and also look good. Obviously, everyone wants to feel good. So I think just knowing that, but also just in terms of fashion to me or watching my father, it's the way that products in my store are curated. We don't just have just candy. It's like candy that we've curated that looks beautiful, or the packaging's beautiful, or it comes from another country and it's interesting. Our Valentine's Day collection, it's, very different. It will be very different for our Easter collection in terms of roses and, flowers, from having this collaboration to hearts and pinks and reds and purples. Easter's a whole nother thing with pastels and beautiful soft colors, and it's just different, and candies are marshmallowy, and so it's very fun. I see candy as art and fashion, and that's definitely something I've learned through watching my parents.
Yes, and if you walk into a Dylan's Candy Bar, and they're all over the country and airports now, it's like walking into a world of a rainbow. It's so beautiful. You feel like you're in a fantasy land.
Thank you. I love retailtainment, and I feel that having in candy stores that that I've been in where you just sell candy is kind of not as fun as being in a set of a Willy Wonka meets a art gallery where you're discovering new things that are not typical, but also seeing the nostalgic classics, under a lollipop tree, which Dylan's Candy Bar has, or candy cane columns, or Starlight mint peppermint stools. It's the experience and the sharing with others that makes it a fun destination.
Well, and I imagine your kids are pretty popular.
Yeah, it's funny, just with the past like Super Bowl party or Halloween, I'm always sort of the one, whether it's the parents, saying like, what are you bringing this time, or what are you going to have for Halloween? And I feel like I have to up my game every year. But it's fun. It's kind of like I feel like proud that I'm in the candy business. I think it's like nice that the kids appreciate it. They've had their birthday parties at my stores and their friends have. So I feel good about that. I know it's a different career path, but my son's more on the like sort of financial side. He wants to help me with the counting of the candies, and my daughter's very artistic and actually helped me design a lot of like the things we're doing in our windows and our packaging. She's always drawing new ideas, which are very good, actually.
But looking where you came from, and your dad is just a legend, almost seems too light of a word for Ralph Lauren. He really does.
Yeah.
And I was so thrilled. I almost felt like I was there with you guys watching. At the White House. Tell our audience about the incredible honor your father, Ralph Lauren, just received.
Right. Well, look, Jill, you are a very close family friend and have been there since, my dad's beginnings in his career. So I met you when I was probably like very young.
You're your kid's age.
But my dad recently won the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is like the most, biggest award, I guess, an American citizen can get. And he got it amongst several people that I also admire. I know he admires Albano, Anna Wintour, just a bunch of, there's a whole list of like maybe 12 people who really have made an impact in this world. And he was one that President Biden, very much admires, and the world, I guess, admires, obviously. And it's just an honor to be with him and celebrate this moment. Of course, he's very humble. And but just I think it's well deserved, and he works hard. He's in his 80s and he's still working and still will plan to work till whenever he doesn't have to work, but he loves it and he believes in doing what you love, and that's greatly inspired me and what I do. So
It was such a beautiful event. And there was one shot before the ceremony started where they were panning the crowd. And I actually saw you and your mom, sitting on the left-hand side of the aisle, waiting for it all to begin. What was it like for you as Ralph Lauren's daughter to see your dad get one of the greatest honors a human being can get?
We don't take it lightly, although he has won a lot of honors, and he's literally won things from the French Prime Minister, and he's been knighted. He's won, been honored in Jamaica. He's got some major titles actually that go beyond fashion as sort of governmental titles. So I've definitely witnessed, a lot beyond like the Legend Award he won and all these other CFDA awards. So I just think this was probably the biggest award that an American citizen can get. But what's more important is that he's not changed by it. He kind of works even harder. And he's kind of inspires us all to work harder and not just sit back on our, laurels, which is really cool. Next day, back to work, So
yeah, you're only as good as your last collection, right?
Yeah. And it's, you would think someone with so much, both success and also challenges of, keeping their brand up, especially in fashion. He's had a lot of really brilliant fashion shows and awards, but he's still going as if it was like his first day back,
Well, and that's why he is the legend that he is.
Yeah.
And so beloved, and really stands for what American fashion is all about. You think of American fashion, you think Ralph Lauren. And your mom is equally so inspirational and so creative and such a driving force behind your dad. Your beautiful mom, Ricky, is truly amazing and has helped your dad so much.
Yeah, no, it's been really nice to witness them both. And, they just celebrated their anniversary, their 60th. And so, candy was definitely one of the gifts that made them a giant mosaic with candy. So it was great.
Oh, well, Dylan, one of the things that connected us, obviously beyond my obsession with your dad and the clothing and all of that, is our love and our need to protect our animals. And we connected many years ago about animal welfare. And then I was so amazed and surprised to hear that you've taken it to a different level and really focused on a whole different type of animal that, when you think you go into a shelter and now we see, thank goodness, many more bunny rabbits. But that's really been, the rabbits have been your mission of your heart, haven't they?
Well, I would say two things. Rabbits are my favorite animal, and I grew up with two bunnies, Chocolate and Vanilla, who are the mascots of Dylan's Candy Bar, and you'll see the big sculpture when you walk in the door. But rabbits, dogs, cats, pigs, horses, birds, I love all animals. And so I started a foundation called Dylan's Candy Barn with an N that is part of Dylan's Candy Bar's philanthropic arm. And we do a ton of things to help all animals get adopted or, help them from cruelty or whatever challenges they may face. And rabbits is definitely, an animal that after, I guess, dogs and cats, it's a pet that people sometimes don't take as, I guess, as seriously, and they, surrender them or let them go back into the wild because they, think rabbits live. But the domesticated rabbits kind of need forever homes. So I've definitely worked closely with shelters, all about Rabbits Rescue, which, helps teach you how to care for rabbits and, how to, really understand their needs. But cats, dogs, we help adopt all of them at our different charity events at our stores and, on our site.
Yeah, you're a wonderful ambassador, and my condolences to you, Dylan. I know you lost your beloved Jersey.
Yes, we can talk about that because I love her so much and it's hard to talk about. But animals they have a different power over, I think, us. I think in some ways they're just so special. And, I know people say because they can't, maybe talk, but they have very clear ways of expressing their needs and their pain and their wants, and I think that people who may not want to rescue a dog, because I think going to a breeder or going to some fancy place is, the way to have the best dog. But I tell you, from Jersey and the rescues I've met and got adopted, it's like a new ball game. These animals, especially the shelters, they're beautiful. Jersey was a cover model, and a lot of my friends who've now adopted are like, I'm so grateful that I've saved a life that could have been euthanized or, put down. And they're beautiful and healthy and just, amazing pets, and so grateful that they've been given a home and love. And it's just super, super good all around.
Second chance. And I said in my open, I'm imploring people right now to foster. If you can't adopt, fostering is as important because we're the bridge between where they came from and where they could end up. And most of the time, if you're like me, and I'm sure you too, you become a foster fail. But if you aren't a foster fail, you're doing God's work to take an animal in temporarily to just let them know the love and the compassion so that they can become viable for a home.
Oh my gosh, so many animals that we have worked with from all these different shelters around the country. There's people who foster them, end up adopting them, have friends who end up taking them because they maybe didn't want to go to a shelter to meet them, but they see they're amazing animals all around. And you could also volunteer just by walking, dogs or cats or cleaning a rabbit's cage or, helping with the horse's feed and, whatever. There's so many ways to get involved in helping animals, and it takes a lot of people, who love animals and giving back, and it's super fulfilling all around. But definitely every animal needs a forever home, and having them live in a tiny little cage because maybe someone couldn't figure out how to, balance going to work and taking care of the animals. Definitely these places also educate you in how to do that, and they provide awareness on all different pet care. So I think learning before you, get any pet is really important, but they are the best thing you can have in your life, I think.
I agree. Oh, you're preaching to the choir, and our whole audience agrees with you. And, so great because this weekend being that it's Valentine's Day, we also are going to be sharing the same space in the show on Saturday. It's called Extraordinary World with Jeff Corwin. It can be seen nationwide on CBS on your Saturday morning lineup. Dylan, we're both in it. I'm going to be featured at Southampton Animal Shelter for my work with my underdogs and my holiday campaign to try to get all my underdogs at home. And I know you're going to be in the show as well.
Yes, it's so cool that we're both in that show. I actually saw a preview. Well, actually, it didn't. I saw of other shows that are coming out that are. It's just super amazing the work they do, and they featured me talking about rabbit rescue, and then about wombats because we helped with the wildfires in Australia way back, and I loved meeting the exotic animals and the dogs and cats. We recently got like 50 animals adopted, or there's so many issues that happen, and I think this show is about animal rescue, but it's even like turtles and snakes, and people have all these exotics as pets that they also affect the ecosystem. When animals are not cared for, they go extinct. It kind of ruins it for everybody else, so we have to care for them. And they did a great job showing that, and the Josh Fox Foundation has been a big supporter, and so it's been really great. I'm excited to see this episode this coming weekend, actually. It's been great.
I'm so happy to be part of it with you. And for all of our listeners out there, that if they're not going to get to an airport, or we're not blessed enough to have one of your wonderful stores right in our area, which we do here in the Hamptons, tell our listeners how they can order online in time for Valentine's Day, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan'sCandyBar.com is our website, and we have our products on it. Or, if you're in New York City, there's Hudson Yards or LA, the farmer's market, or the airports, or lots of ways. But I would say the website, Dylan'sCandyBar.com, has a lot of the products. You just can't be under, a lollipop tree or hearing 200 candy songs to dance to, but it's still a good experience. And, I think people should give candy every day as a sign of love.
We're so in sync with how I feel.
Candy's dandy. No, it's fun. But so that would be the best way. But it's just been, it's a happy place and a happy experience to receive, something from someone who you love, or they love you, and it's a fun day. And obviously, pets. I mean, that's a big thing. We've seen, and why we have our foundation, Dylan's Candy Bar. I mean, that's a part of the family as your new rescue pet or your new adopted member. It's like they get celebrated too. So treats for them is good too.
Oh, just a beautiful message all the way around. Dylan, I love catching up with you on these sweet holidays, and continued wonderful work for all animals in need. And my dentist thanks you.
Just brush your teeth. Anything can cause cavities, I've learned. So it's all good.
Brush and floss, and then eat Dylan's candy.
Yes. Well, have a happy Valentine's Day, and I wish you the best. And thank you also for helping support our animals in need. It's very cool.
Oh, thank you. And my love to your family. Oh, my goodness, I just adore your family. Big kiss to your dad. And thank you all for joining us on this extra sweet edition of Rappaport to the Rescue.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.